To tonight's top story now, the tone emanating from President Obama and his campaign sinking to a new low. First, Senator Harry Reid's baseless attack from the Senate floor claiming Governor Romney hasn't paid taxes in the past 10 years, a claim that Senator Reid refuses to prove with an alleged unidentified source that he refuses to reveal, a statement the White House refuses to repudiate. Enter House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who last night dubbed the Republican Party the, quote, E. coli Club, accusing them of ignoring food and water safety. President Obama joined in last night trying out a new attack line at yet another fundraiser. The president attacking Governor Romney's tax policy.
He'd asked the middle class to pay more in taxes so that he could give another $250,000 tax cut to people making more than $3 million a year. It's like Robin Hood in reverse. It's Romney Hood.
Governor Romney responding, calling the president's claims, quote, Obama-loney. Meanwhile, the Democratic super PAC Priorities USA released an ad that accuses Governor Romney of killing a woman because she died 6 years after a factory was closed. Is the White House embarrassed in the least? White House Press Secretary Jay Carney not only refused to repudiate the attack, he wouldn't even discuss the ad in today's press briefing. The Romney campaign countered with an attack against President Obama's rollback of work requirements that have been the bulwark of the welfare reform law since 1996. Fox News Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry with our report.
Well, White House spokesman Jay Carney often deflects political questions to Chicago. Today, he was eager to slam Republican Mitt Romney's ad charging President Obama is gutting welfare reform.
From a policy standpoint, let me say that this advertisement is categorically false and it is blatantly dishonest. This administration's policy will strengthen the program by giving states the opportunity to employ more effective ways to help people get off welfare and into a job.
Carney was questioned on whether he's showing selective outrage, since he had little to say about a tough new ad by a Democratic super PAC, which blames Romney for the death of a worker's wife because Bain Capital closed a steel plant and the worker lost his health insurance.
She passed away in 22 days. I do not think Mitt Romney realizes what he's done to anyone.
I have not seen the ad, and I would refer you to the campaign.
Carney was then pressed on why, for the second straight day, he would not criticize Senator Harry Reid for using one anonymous source to claim Romney did not pay any taxes for 10 years.
I'm not making a judgment on it. I'm simply saying that this whole thing could be resolved in a minute.
Romney charged that Reid has lost credibility.
The Obama team has done everything in their power to try and deflect attention from the issues people care most about, which are related to getting good jobs with rising wages again.
Gallup reported today economic confidence slipped in July for the second straight month, while the president of the Federal Reserve Bank in Boston, Eric Rosengren, said that because of weak growth, the Fed, when it meets next month, needs to juice the economy, saying, you continue to do it until it's clear that you're no longer treading water. The White House dismisses Republican charges. It's the Fed, not the president's policies, propping things up.
The president took bold action, some of it at the time unpopular.
Now, Jay Carney stresses he only got involved in the welfare controversy because it's a policy issue, not just politics. So the White House is officially involved. And he also says the ad by the Romney camp distorts the record. Now, in terms of some of the other distortions on the campaign trail right now, Jay Carney not commenting so much. Lou?
And 4 Pinocchios for Harry Reid's claim by the Washington Post. It would seem like it would be very easy for the White House press secretary to acknowledge at least that there is no credibility to the claim on the part of the Washington Post.
That's why I pressed Jay Carney on this matter yesterday. Got more questions about it today. It would be very easy for the president to pick up the phone or for Jay Carney from the podium to say, look, these attacks are unfair. Let's call them off. But the reason why they're not is pretty clear. It's that Harry Reid is the person sort of on the outside hammering away at Mitt Romney. And the White House doesn't have to necessarily get its hands so dirty, and it's hurting Mitt Romney in some ways. But on the other hand, I think, the Obama camp would point out, and has told me a lot in the last couple of days, days that if Mitt Romney just released more tax returns, Harry Reid's attacks probably wouldn't matter that much. So that's one of those issues that's going to hang out there as long as he doesn't put more paper out there, Lou.
Ed Henry, we thank you as always. Fox News Chief White House Correspondent Ed Henry. For more on the latest developments on the presidential campaign trail, I'm joined now by Bret Baier, the host of Special Report on the Fox News channel. And folks, you're going to see a lot more of Bret Baier now as we start moving to Decision Day, November 6th. Bret, good to have you here.
Hey, Lou, good to be here.
Let's start, as Ed Henry was just reporting, the White House refusing to repudiate what even the Washington Post dismisses, frankly, as just a completely bogus set of statements by the Senate Majority Leader.
Yeah, I think, Lou, Ed hit it on the head. I think the White House is enjoying this moment. They don't see the backlash yet. They see Harry Reid leading this charge, even though it's on one anonymous source. And they see putting increasing question marks in voters' minds about, hey, what is in those tax returns? There is a point, though, that perhaps there is a backlash as you have reporters in Las Vegas and in Nevada saying, how are we to believe anything based on one source and you won't tell us what it is?
And that backlash, maybe it is part of a construction that reveals a race between Romney and an incumbent president that is absolutely statistically a tie right now.
Yeah, I think you're seeing, nationally, it's very close. These battleground states are very interesting, Lou. I mean, I just came back from Ohio. Right. It does seem like the president has opened up a little bit of a lead in Ohio, 6 points in the average of polls. And some of these battleground states in the Midwest have been shifting towards Obama. So the Romney campaign, I think, is really focused on these individual states, about 12 of them. Right. And we've narrowed it down to about 20 counties across the country.
20 counties, and how does it look within those 20 counties?
Yeah, I mean, some of them, they're obviously different issues, different demographics, but again, in the Midwest, which is a big concern because Republicans have to win Ohio to win the White House, it seems like the economy has gotten a little bit better there. Chevy is adding jobs there, and there seems to be a sense that the president has picked up a couple of points.
The president, in the chart we just put up, 26 points ahead of where we were just a couple of months ago in the Electoral College, and Governor Romney's picked up 10. He's sitting there 23, and these things are always conjectural, no matter how careful the science in putting them up there. But only 23 electoral votes away from what is needed for the presidency. Again, do you have... Can you divine what Governor Romney has to do to make a difference here?
Well, number one, he has to win Ohio. Number two, Florida. And they have a plan as far as these states that they have to put in their column. Listen, we know there's a lot of time between now and November 6th. And in between there, we'll have a convention where Republicans will try to unite and roll out their candidate with a VP pick that very well could you never know, but could inspire the conservative base. It's possible. Paul Ryan, Marco Rubio in the short list, we're told, as well as Tim Pawlenty and Rob Portman. So you have a lot of time between now and then, but I think the Romney campaign is looking at those numbers and saying we've got to move pretty quick.
Bret Baier, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
All right.